The film opens with a text from the prayer of Saint Christopher, patron saint of travelers. Two friends, Daniel and Lucas, are driving down a dark road at night. Lucas is asleep, so Daniel jokingly screams to wake him up, saying he's lonely, but Lucas is startled. Lucas then starts drinking a lot of water, saying he has a dry mouth, even though Daniel tells him not to, saying he is not going to stop for him in the dark if he needs to pee. Lucas eventually makes Daniel pull over so he can go pee, to Daniel's annoyance. He goes down to the forest to relieve himself as Daniel sits in his car. Lucas then starts to hear branches creaking, like someone is moving around in the dark. After he relieves himself, he is annoyed to hear what sounds like Daniel laying on the car horn, only to discover that Daniel is nowhere near the car, and all the doors and trunk have been wide open. Lucas calls out for Daniel, but doesn't see or hear him. He then notices 3 claw marks slashed across the trunk. Lucas tries to call Daniel's phone, but sees it's inside the car. Suddenly, Daniel's bloodied body smashes through the windshield. He asks Lucas for help before getting dragged out by an unseen force and dropped in the middle of the road. Lucas gets out of the car to help his friend, but Daniel is already dead. He quickly gets back in the car to call for help, but looks through the side mirror to see what looks like a person standing in the dark. He tries to drive away, but the engine doesn't start. The person then disappears from behind before appearing in front of the car. Lucas freaks out and manages to start the car and quickly drives away. He speeds up and tries to escape, but he starts to see the mysterious person on the side of the road over and over again before it appears right next to him and shrieks. Elsewhere, a couple, Maddie and Tyler, are selling their house and getting ready to hit the road and live out of their new van. Maddie is a little skeptical about it, but she is still happy for Tyler since he is the most excited. Before they begin their journey, Maddie gets her GPS device ready before Tyler takes out a St. Christopher medallion he bought and puts it on the rearview mirror since it is in his family's tradition to put it in their car so it can keep them safe. The couple spent their time traveling to places outside the city and having a good time together. 6 weeks later, Tyler books a hot spring so that they can have quality time, but unfortunately miss it due to traffic. That night, they park their van on a residential street, where Maddie sees one family in their home celebrating their son's birthday, and she clearly wants to have a future like that. Tyler then opens up a champagne and turns on a dim light he has secretly set up. As Maddie is amazed by it, Tyler proposes to her. But before she can give her answer, they get interrupted by someone knocking on their van. It is the neighborhood's watch guy, who orders them to leave as camping is restricted on a residential street. They have a laugh, and Maddie accepts his proposal before they hit the road again. The two then book a hotel for the night and start to drive there. After a bit, Tyler starts to feel tired, so Maddie takes on the wheel while he sleeps in the back. Unbeknownst to her, Maddie starts to drive down the same dark road from the beginning. She spots a car following behind, but as it gets closer, we see that it is Daniel and Lucas's car. Lucas appears to be driving, and he recklessly pulls up beside her and starts honking. Maddie is confused by this and tells him to go, while Lucas continues to wave at her. This wakes up Tyler, and Lucas finally speeds ahead of their van frantically as Maddie slows down. Moments later, Maddie and Tyler spot Lucas's car crashed against a tree. Thinking this is just a regular accident, they pull over to help. As they go to investigate, Maddie sees Lucas trying to crawl out of the passenger seat, only to get pulled back inside. Tyler goes to check it out and opens the door to see Lucas still alive, but severely injured. As he tries to keep him breathing, Lucas's airbag explodes with enough force to break his neck and kill him. Meanwhile, Maddie notices the 3 claw marks on Lucas's car before she starts to hear branches snapping from the woods. She looks around to see the mysterious demonic entity looking at her from a distance before it disappears. Soon, emergency services arrive, and Maddie goes to stay in the van while Tyler gives a statement. The entity appears behind Maddie again. She senses it and turns around, but it disappears when Tyler returns, and they drive away. The couple stops at a motel for the night. Maddie tries to check out the dashcam footage, but the video gets corrupted just before the accident. In the morning, they see that their van has 3 claw marks on it, like what Maddie saw on Lucas's car. She is a little worried about it, but Tyler doesn't take it seriously. Tyler then drives them to a gathering of other van lifers. There, Tyler meets Brad Fuller, a famous van lifer YouTuber he's followed, and starts to talk to him. Meanwhile, Maddie is in the van and sees the fruit they bought has spoiled at an alarming rate. Tyler then introduces her to Brad, who spots the 3 claw marks on their van, but also gives them advice to park their van at a 24-hour gym parking lot so they won't get kicked out. As Tyler gives him a tour of the inside of their van, Maddie goes around the other tents and sees pictures of multiple missing people, as well as a stick figure with 3 lines going through its body. She meets a woman named Diana Marsh, and they talk about van life and how Maddie was excited about it at first, but is starting to feel that this kind of life might not be for her. Diana also mentions that she is headed to a seafood restaurant in Flagstaff. But when Maddie mentions the accident they saw last night and that they stopped to help, Diana's tone becomes ominous. She warns Maddie to stay off the quieter roads and not to drive at night. And even if she does, she must never stop. When Tyler comes, Diana tells Maddie that she doesn't want to see her picture among the missing and leaves. Tyler then shows Maddie that Brad was able to fix the claw mark off of their van for free. Later, the couple joins the other groups for a Burning Man-style celebration, but Maddie sees the same mysterious figure from earlier hidden among the crowd. Maddie and Tyler later stop at a gym. Maddie finishes up her workouts earlier and starts walking back to the van in the mostly empty parking lot. As she is distracted by a couple of shady-looking people, Maddie is nearly hit by a passing truck. The shady-looking people also drive away, leaving her alone in the parking lot. As she approaches the van, she starts to hear footsteps approaching her, but when she turns around, no one is there. She turns to the van only to find that it has gotten farther away. This confuses her before the lights go out, leaving her in the dark. After a few seconds, the lights get back on, and Maddie starts to quickly walk back to the van, but she now starts to hear running footsteps approaching, startling her. Still, no one is around, but she once again turns back to the van to find it even further away from her. Maddie gets scared by this, so she starts running back to the van. Once she makes it back inside the van, she looks outside through the van's exterior cameras, but she still sees no one. She calms down a bit before she receives a notification through her phone. She opens it to see that the dash cam footage from Lucas's car accident has been updated. She opens up the video and sees the figure sitting next to Lucas before he crashed his car. Suddenly, the van alarm goes off before Maddie stops it. All the lights in the van then start flickering before Maddie spots the entity standing outside through the exterior cameras. The cameras then stop working before she sees the entity's hideous face smiling at her. The entity then starts banging on the van, so Maddie takes off the window covers to get a better look and texts Tyler to quickly come back. Unbeknownst to her, the back door of the van opens. She puts on her seatbelt and tries to drive the van closer to the gym, but the engine won't start. The back door then closes before the entity appears inside. She tries to escape, but it holds her with the seatbelt. The entity then approaches her and tries to strangle her, but Maddie takes off the rearview mirror that was holding St. Christopher's medallion and hits the entity with it, which burns its hand. Maddie rushes out of the van just as Tyler arrives. He goes in the van to check, but sees no sign of the figure. Maddie tries to show Tyler the figure from the car accident, but it is now gone from there too. The couple continues their drive in the morning. After stopping at a gift shop, Maddie grabs a book called The Hobo Code and sees a mention of the 3 lines being a warning sign for travelers to stay away. When they get back to their van, the couple is dismayed to see the 3 claw marks on the van yet again. Later that night, they camp on the side of an empty road by the woods. Maddie does her research on the 3 claw marks and sees that there have been numerous other incidents of travelers going missing or dying in a gruesome accident after their vehicles have been seen with the claw marks. The entity that she saw has been described by others as the Passenger, an evil entity from hell that haunts and kills travelers. Tyler then surprises Maddie by setting up a projector outside so they can watch Roman Holiday. They start talking about their current life, which Maddie thinks is not sustainable for a long-term plan and wants to settle down, which causes a bit of a rift between her and Tyler. Not long into the screening, the lights begin flickering before they see what looks like a figure behind the screen. Tyler goes to check it out and quickly takes off the cover, but no one is there. They then start to hear running footsteps all around them before they come face to face with the Passenger, who roars at them before they hide in the van. The entity then begins shaking and thrashing the van around as they hold each other in terror. After a few seconds, it stops and everything goes quiet. They try to drive away, but unfortunately, they have dropped the keys outside, so Tyler has no choice but to step outside and get them. He hears the keys jangling deep in the forest, so he goes after them. He finally finds them hanging off of a tree branch, but as soon as he retrieves them, the Passenger tries to attack him, but Maddie helps him up, and they quickly get back to their van before they drive the hell out of there. The two then stop at a nearby town and go to a diner. There, Maddie explains to Tyler what she has learned about the Passenger. Realizing it won't be so easy getting rid of the entity, Maddie suggests to Tyler that they get to Flagstaff to find Diana, as she may know how to get rid of the Passenger. Maddie and Tyler resume their drive in the morning and vow to not drive at night again. On the road, they see another gruesome accident, but it is unclear whether it was caused by the Passenger. Since Flagstaff is in Arizona, it took the couple most of the day, and before they reach their destination, they lose a tire on another empty and dark road. Tyler tries to change it as quickly as he can, but nighttime comes, and Maddie starts to hear something from the dark. Tyler manages to take off the blown-up tire, but sees that the bolts are missing from where he put them. He looks around and finds them under the van, so he crawls under there and starts to get them. As he does this, Maddie continues to hear noises from the dark and appears to see the passenger in the distance before it disappears. She then notices that their van's door is open and sees the passenger getting in. She backs up, but unbeknownst to her, the passenger is behind her, and he suddenly grabs her. Tyler hears this before he sees Maddie getting dragged down the dark road. He tries to go after her, but the passenger tries to crush him under the van. He manages to get out, but suffers injuries to his leg. Tyler only finds St. Christopher's medallion, but he quickly changes the van's tire and drives down the dark road where the passenger took Maddie. Meanwhile, Maddie wakes up in the woods near another car accident. Tyler seems to find her quickly, and they both embrace each other, but unfortunately, it's the passenger playing tricks on her. He controls her, making her kneel and hold her arms out. The passenger then reveals that she is in the middle of the road where the actual Tyler is coming in at full speed. But fortunately, Tyler spots her and manages to quickly stop the van before he hits her. He gets out and helps her up before they drive away. The couple make it to Flagstaff, where they find a camp and ask for Diana, but no one is willing to help them. Diana finally comes up front, but when they tell her that the passenger is following them, she orders the people to pack up and take shelter in their vans immediately. She tells Maddie and Tyler that there was a rumor of a traveler who was haunted by the passenger but managed to survive after he sought refuge in the Church of St. Christopher. It is not on any map since it is on a dead-end road in the middle of the desert, and those seeking it have to know how to read the signs. Not wanting them to die, Diana tells them that she will take them. They then feel the presence of the passenger, so they run back to their van, but the passenger causes the door to slam on Maddie's hands. Diana then meets them with her own van, but the passenger appears behind her and pulls her hair back with enough force to split her neck open. Maddie and Tyler see this and quickly flee the area in terror. They stop at a gas station, completely hopeless about what they are going to do next. Maddie then tells Tyler that Diana had mentioned the church being in Grand Junction, so they decide to drive in that direction and try every back road until they find it instead of waiting to die. The couple then goes to a nearby store to buy supplies and a bunch of St. Christopher medallions to hang around the van as they begin their journey to the church in the morning. They travel for a while before the day is out, but the passenger makes it so that they drive until it's dark without them realizing, confusing the couple. Realizing that they are in danger, they start to drive back to the nearest town. They are also close to running out of gas, but Maddie notices a symbol on a billboard and figures it's one of the signs. Tyler is skeptical, as they won't be able to make it back if she is wrong, but Maddie drives down the bumpy road anyway. After they drive down for a bit, they find another sign, which leads them to a dirt road. They continue to drive until they come across a field full of corpses covered in sheets. Knowing it's one of the passenger's tricks, they drive ahead. The entity eventually catches up to them and takes out all St. Christopher's medallions from the van. Tyler gets up from his seat to close the door, but the passenger appears behind him and pushes him out of the van. Maddie keeps driving until she gets close enough to the church and hits the brakes hard, causing the passenger to be flung through the windshield. Since he is on the church's holy ground, the passenger's power is weakened. Maddie then rams the van into the passenger and drives straight into the church until she crushes into St. Christopher's statue, weakening the passenger even more. The entity still tries to attack her, but Maddie backs up the van and slams him against the statue repeatedly until she manages to impale the passenger through St. Christopher's spear. The passenger melts until his body explodes and sets the entire place on fire. Maddie gets out of the van and tries to find her way out, but she is found by Tyler, and they both escape outside. They sit nearby and watch the church go up in flames along with their van. Tyler says they lost everything, but Maddie shows that she recovered the engagement ring from the van. He puts it on her finger as emergency services arrive after Tyler used her GPS device to call SOS. The couple then vow to buy a proper house and go back to a normal suburban life.